Hello, this is Aaron Cooter, and you're listening to 11 O'Clock Comics.
It's like Fallout, right? We're just awash in the woo. Oh. Just strip some of my skin. It's crazy.
So close.
It's like Chernobyl. What?
Chernobyl.
Yeah. Chernobyl. Yeah, you're so inventive.
Oh, yes.
Yogurt.
Oh, yes.
Hey, everybody. It's 11 O'Clock Comics, episode 899. It's like the night before your birthday.
Damn.
Right? Isn't it? And I'm Vince B.
You are Vince B.
All the time.
I am David A. Price.
Indeed you are, and I'm Michael Bublé.
You're so stupid. You're not Michael Bublé. Although, I get the same vibes from you that I get from him. Just good-natured, honest person.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Set of pipes on us. True.
He's never happy, David. He's never happy.
I think we'd be used to it by now.
Right. Bougie shit. But you know where you can be happy? Almost instantly. CheapGraphicNovels.com.
Yep.
Because once you see how little you're going to pay for your favorite OGNs, trade paperbacks, omnibus edition, manga, you'll be giddy with how much more you can spend on comics. See, as comic book fans, we don't save money. We do, but we take that savings and we turn it into more comics. That's how it works, right? And CheapGraphicNovels.com are more than happy to feed you with the stuff you want. Here's the deal. Been saying it for a while. If you don't know it already, maybe one or two of you, you'll get an email confirmation when you place your first order. You're going to respond politely to that email and say, Max, 11 O'Clock Comics sent me. And Max is once again going to flutter his magical little fairy wings, and you're going to get free shipping on your next order. It's ridiculous. You save going in, you save coming out. CheapGraphicNovels.com.
Nice.
Thanks. Almost no one can hear you when you whisper. But that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
I like it.
It's just for you.
It's like the way you call me at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's it.
All whispery and shit. I have some, you know what? I'm not, my trend is on a downturn with this beer because, this is from Oscar Blues Brewery, and that's Oscar with a K. Oscar Blues Brewery. It's called Old Chub.
Okay.
Q Jason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what they call you, yeah.
Yeah, Old Chub Scotch Ale. And it's
Right in the pants.
It's not great.
It's not great.
It's not great, but it is ale, so therefore it's okay. But it's not an optimal drinking experience. Sorry, Old Chub.
Sorry.
What are you, Canadian?
Sorry, Ross.
It's boot.
My the wife is watching. You said Ross. The wife is watching NYPD Blue from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I had totally forgotten that Ross was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4B.
Yeah, it's a DA, yeah.
Yeah. He got.
Oh, no, yeah. He was the neighbor, right?
He got pushed around in the washroom, so he got a gun, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. Good times with Ross.
Good old days.
Good old Ross.
That is Fran's ass.
Yep.
What kind of bubble you got tonight, Jason?
Well, I'm doing it high style this evening. I am cracking open a delicious lemon lime G0.
Wow.
Oh, went for the hard shit.
Yeah, I went hard with it. Straight up, too. None of that rocks nonsense.
Tonight I am having.
Sounds like wine.
No, it's not. There's cork, but it's the Michter's Unblended American Whiskey with a splash of soda.
Miggity Michter's.
Might be my fave.
Nice. Jason, you were pretty giddy last episode due to a series you had read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it sounded like I was giddy. I mean, I was giddy at the conceit of it more than like the.
Oh, now we got, permutation.
He was giddy until we talked about it.
That's I think. Yeah,
I'm teasing.
Yeah, I was more giddy at the fact of the audaciousness to make that book, and
Gotcha.
than it was like, oh, this is. Of course, it's nowhere near as good as Planetary. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that's an that's an all-time great comic.
Look, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. If you enjoyed something...
No. I'm saying, so I think in thinking back on it, the giddiness is more just like because of the surprise of it.
I was just going to say, the surprise of it actually being good. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, just to springboard off your giddiness, I was giddy as hell this week from an unexpected source, just like you.
Yeah, I think you're about to hurt my heart here, so go ahead.
That unexpected source was Matt Kindt.
That's what. So
you're going to hurt his heart.
I'm not going to hurt your heart. He's a great writer, and he wrote this.
Yeah,
and it's illustrated by Dan McDaid. What? Huh?
We're getting off to a rough start.
No, we're not. Dan McDade's great. Color art.
He's great. That is true. We can
He's
agree on
wonderful.
That.
Color art by Bill Crabtree, and letters by Jim Campbell. I'm going to start listing the letterists.
You should. That's good.
No, I'm gonna because I'm just gonna do it for everyone. I was gonna say I'll list the noteworthy ones, of which Mr. Campbell is, but it's not fair. I will list all of the letterers from now on. It's just playing it fair, right?
Good business. Yep.
This book came out of Dark Horse, and it's called "If You Find This, I'm Already Dead." #1, and I know we all read it. So this is one of my favorite aspects of the show, when we can all weigh in on a recently released book and see where the chips fall, right? But I'll set it up for you first, dear listener. It's a very simple premise. An interdimensional gateway was discovered in proximity to the moon, and explorations through said gateway revealed the existence of a habitable planet that has come to be called Terminus. Now, I don't know who named it, but if I found a habitable planet, I don't think I would call it Terminus.
No.
That seems like a one-way trip. As humanity will do, the military has set up a base on Terminus called the Green Zone in an extremely hostile environment. And the book opens as a 5-man team embarks on yet another trip to the safe zone. And these guys are the best of the best. Highly trained, experienced. They seem to be ready for any contingency. In addition to the captain, there's a language specialist, and there's one guy specializes in interspecies relations. You got a mercenary, a demolitions expert, everything you would need military-wise to drop down into a hostile environment, right? Teeming with alien races. All of these 5 guys are joined by an embedded reporter named Robin Reed. And she is the very first reporter to set foot on Terminus. Seems like a pretty strong recipe for success. No. Things go south very quickly. Thanks to a well-aimed alien missile, all of the men are cut to ribbons within the first 5-6 pages. The men we were just introduced to, all dead. Horrifyingly so.
So much for the best of the best.
Yeah. Except for Captain Gill and Robin. And now they're thrown right smack dab into the middle of the shit. The aliens have infiltrated the Green Zone. And it is through the eyes of Captain Gill and Robin that we discover the wonders and horrors of Terminus. We are fleetingly introduced to the denizens, the culture, the commerce, the ancient architecture, and there's artifacts, and it seems to be a civilization that has existed for a very long time, because as we do on this planet, as old civilizations die, they're just piled over by new civilizations. Like we erect our people on the dust of our predecessors, right? And that looks like what's happened here. Like there are artifacts underground from previous waves of beings. All the while, Captain Gill and Robin are pursued by these merciless alien enforcers. And I'm sure it was a meeting of the minds between Kindt and McDaid, but these aliens are beautiful. They have a head that looks like two tuning forks smashed together, and they're spindly and lanky, and they got these power swords, and they will not hesitate to cut you in half. Like there's one sequence where Robin and Captain Gill enter a home, a residence, right? And there's people in there, and they can't understand these two humans, and the humans can't understand the aliens. But one of them was kind enough to show them a trapdoor in the floor. And what do they get for their kindness? They get cut in half by these alien hunters. It's just the book took me away. Like, I love it when I'm reading something and I'm sucked out of the present and taken away to somewhere else. Like, I'm on this planet now. I'm experiencing these things like the protagonist. I thought this book was just, everything about it is just scintillating. The pacing is awesome. The character design's amazing. The illustration's great. Kindt did all the work on the story because it is power-packed. Not a whole lot of heavy lifting. There's a portal. We went through it. Shit hit the fan. Oh, no. Right? It's just really simple. I don't know how long this series is going to last.
Not too long would be my bet.
Why?
Well, no, I'm saying because in the nature of the conceit, like it's going to end. It has to end quickly,
right?
One way or the other.
Yeah, well, I hope not. But the knife in the back is that Kindt spends a good amount of time fleshing out certain characters, and these characters drop like flies. Like, I don't want to equate it to Walking Dead, but it's a good comparison because save, the royal family of Rick and Michonne and Daryl, whatever. There are even though characters come and go in Walking Dead, there are untouchables in that series. There will always be untouchables, right? Because they're fan favorites. Mm-hmm. But in this book, save for maybe one character, everyone's expendable. And it's crazy that Kindt would spend real estate, page time, on a character only to have them. Well, I get it, because we can't. The payoff is not shocking, and it doesn't resonate at all if there's not a little bit of a meeting with these characters and getting somewhat to know them, right? Why would we care if someone got killed if we didn't experience a little bit of who they are, right? And that's what he does. He gives us enough to know fairly well, I guess, as much as we can in one issue, certain characters, and then, sorry, wrong place, wrong time, my friend. Yeah, it's just people drop like flies in this book. It's crazy, and I loved it.
I thought McDaid's art was fantastic.
It's so good. It's sculpted in some spots, and then it's just so expressive in other spots. Like the energy of his line and the marks he makes is just amazing.
Yep.
The composition is wonderful. It looks like real thought went into the construction of these pages. Like, it wasn't like, I got a damn deadline, I got to get this shit out. Every page is orchestrated. It's so nice.
Yep. I don't think McDaid's ever looked better, to be honest with you.
I like his work a lot. I always have. But I don't want to say that. But I think this is just another in a long string of really good-looking books.
Yeah, but I love how this motherfucker, concede an inch on McDaid, but he starts it by absolutely bazookaing Kindt's artistic ability.
Wait, now see, you're reading into it. I didn't say anything about Kindt's.
No, we're reading the Slack. We're not reading it.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes, we
Well,
can.
manifesting,
Yeah, I did that to tweak you.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
I did. Because I know you love Kindt. Like, you love everything.
I love him in all forms.
Yeah, I know you do.
I love his art. I love. He and I agree with you. I think he's an excellent writer, and
he's a wonderful writer.
I'm grateful that he is such a prolific writer, because you can only draw one book at a time. I will say, his biggest hit ever is currently underway with Berserk. And Berserker? Right. Berserker? It's Berserker, yeah. But I haven't read it because I was like, oh, what is it? I'm like, oh, he's doing a comic with, like, it's a Keanu Reeves, like, celebrity vanity project, like, whatever. Like, it's just, isn't it John Wick as a, I'm like, I was like, isn't it just a comic version of John Wick? Oh,
that thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I ordered an issue of that, but it's not by Kindt. It was by Steve Scrocci. It's like the big pen and ink issue. Scrocci did a Lovecraftian take on the Berserker.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, it's always been Kindt and Garney with Grompa covers.
Yeah, Keanu and Kindt are the co-writers of Berserker.
Well, this is Steve Scrocci, and it's Keanu. But the book is come and gone, but now they're doing one of those oversized black and white pen and ink versions of it, and I'm like, Steve Scrocci, black and white pen and ink, Lovecraftian, I'm down. It was only like $6.99. So you're
talking about this Berserker Poetry of Madness.
Yes. I ordered that. I can't wait. But if you guys want to read Berserker, the main series, I'll do that.
Well, what I was going to say is I was like, this is going to be, I'm like, what is it? But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Have I ever read anything by Kindt I didn't like? I'm like, maybe I'm like, I don't have any haterade for Keanu. I mean, fucking John Wick. So maybe
is it possible to have haterade for Keanu?
I'm sure some people must, right?
Not on this planet, I don't think. I think he's one of the most beloved.
He's not beloved as a Rock, isn't he?
I don't think Keanu is a great actor.
I think he might be more beloved than The Rock, actually.
Oh, that's not true. The Rock's like one of the most beloved. He's like got the highest Q score on the planet.
What is this score?
Huh?
What is this score you're talking about?
Q score?
What is that?
Q score is a score that measures the popularity of people.
What's my Q score?
Like 0.3.
Oh, you dick! You dick! What if I said Matt Kindt was a great artist? Would you make my Q score go up?
It'd be a 0.5.
0.2.
Wow, that's hurtful. Now, see, I kid you, but you were serious when you said that.
Oh,
what? But anywho, yeah, what are you talking about, Dap? Who doesn't like The Rock? He's literally, that's why they say he's going to run for president, because he's like someone that everybody loves.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you that, yes, The Rock is a very much loved person. On the surface, without a doubt, yes, people see The Rock, they love him. Of course, for a storyline, they're going to boo him at the arenas because of what's going on heading into WrestleMania season. I get that, and if you're a Fast and Furious fanatic, I'm sure people are going to be, take Vin's side over anybody else's. There are going to be certain segments that are just going to be like, oh well, Rock came in and flexed, and big dick swinging, but when it comes to and The Rock will stop traffic to say hi to a fan. There's no doubt, no denying that people absolutely love The Rock, but I have never, ever heard anyone say anything negative or bad about Keanu Reeves. And what my man has done, if you're going to dig and look for anything on The Rock, and you do the same thing for Keanu, you will see like all of the good and the altruistic and just he does, for my money. I don't know many people. Keanu Reeves is absolutely one of the purest beings on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. Whether that's true or not, that's how I absolutely feel. No shade towards The Rock. Love the dude. It's great seeing him whenever. but if I had to say which one is more pure-hearted or is absolute good, I would lean Keanu. If I'm wrong, so be it. But that's the feeling in my bones.
Didn't know we had Keanu stand in the room here, Vince. Jesus.
I like Keanu a lot. I don't think he's a great actor.
River's Edge, Bill and shit going all the way back. No, I've always been a Keanu fan. Fucking Devil's Advocate. There's a lot. I really. I mean, I've seen every single movie the man has done, but I'm a huge.
You're like, I will slap a bitch if you make fun of Speed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not so much, but yeah, there's just.
Now you're slapping people. What's happening?
Well, I mean, my man, he's defending it. He's defending his booze.
I'm defending the virtue of Keanu Reeves because he needs it. He's like, I bet Daph's talking about me tonight. You know, there's just one of those things where I'm not. But yeah, I love the Rock, but yeah. So no, I read the first issue of Berserker, and you know, it was I had to chuckle because anytime there's an immortal. I think of Vince's favorite character, Vandal Savage. So,
stupid.
Is this comic basically Highlander meets John Wick?
I don't even know if the John Wick comparison is a. I mean, I know it's a violent book, but yeah, I believe the first. I mean, he was like a caveman or like came from the primordial ooze.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. It goes, and I guess I don't know how long, because I only read the first issue. I know it's been going on forever, so I don't know how long it took him maybe to get to the present day. I don't know if like there were arcs throughout different wars, like Wolverine. But there's just it seems like it seems tailor made for someone like Ron Garney with the huge, violent and action packed panels. It might be something
Ron Garney's ever had for sure. Berserker, definitely. Yeah.
No, even more than amazing.
Dude, you know how much? Dude, this Kickstarter raised the first Kickstarter for Berserker raised $1.45 million.
That's a lot.
Yes.
I'd have to work 2 years to make that.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Tell you what. If Frank Miller ever came back to DC and said, I want to do another Batman story, and the villain was Vandal Savage, I would not read it.
Wow.
That is how much I hate Vandal Savage.
You really do.
I think the character... we have friends that really like Vandal Savage. Yeah, I friggin' hate the... It is instant saltpeter. Whenever I encounter him in a book, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not reading this.
For me, I think it might be Perdigaton.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay.
That's I mean, I know Vandal Savage is a weird hill to die on, but I just,
true,
don't like the character.
Also, it bums me out for you. Well, not that you care, but I mean, you do like animation though, and like.
Oh yeah, Young Justice. Yeah.
He's such a key part of Young Justice, like the central villain.
Huh. I have never seen episode 1 of Young Justice.
That first season is phenomenal. I know I have to finish the last season that's out. So they are all great, but yeah. I wasn't in love with the Outsiders arc because of what they did to my boy Geoforce, but I get it.
There's another weird hill.
Geoforce. I know. Of all fucking characters. And listen,
do you want lemon? Do you want lime? I don't know. Have them both.
I dug the first. I dug his first costume.
It's Geoforce. Jesus Christ.
Dude, Batman and the Outsiders. You just talked about Outsiders last episode, so you know. Let me have my moment with Geoforce.
At least David's OG Outsiders, not this friggin' planetary.
Episode 983. Fucking Outsiders, planetary.
What's happening?
Yeah. That second outfit that they put Geoforce in with the green and yellow and the GF on the chest. It's like, dude, come on.
That's what I'm saying. He's like a mixed
ridiculous drink. Yeah. I know that the brown and tan was, or the orange and tan. But again, I know that it was because of Terra's outfit. But it was just, go into the lemon lime. No good.
No bueno.
No bueno. But yeah, I'll.
He should name himself Margarita.
The Uncola. Yes, no, but yeah, if you find this I'm already dead, absolutely. It was
so good. But like I said, I had a problem because I pinged the local shop and it was sold out.
Yes. Is it extra sized? Or I mean, physically,
Yes.
is it?
It's
a
extra
larger
issues.
size format. Okay.
Yes.
And Flux House, that's Kindt's imprint.
That's Kindt's imprint. Yeah.
Okay,
At Dark
cool.
Horse. Mm-hmm.
Good for him. Good old Matt Kindt. It's good to see one of our
good done.
favorites. Yeah, getting their own.
Finally making a little cheddar.
Cheddar.
Definitely one of the best writers in the business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'll sign that check all day long.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have?
I need a minute to calm down from your blasphemy bit.
It's not. Dude, it's not blasphemy. I didn't say anything.
Sketchbook in the issue.
Dude, especially given how fucking open-minded you are to art and
Yes.
how much you enjoy non-traditional looking art. Like,
Yep.
it's just really, really... It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Really is hurtful. But you can't keep me down this week because I read a delightful book. And I'm specifically shouting out our boo Caleb because he posted in the Slack the other day a wonderful list of all of the graphic novels that are, not all of them, but many of the graphic novels of import or interest for the calendar year. I think it was Publishers Weekly put it out, and we were kind of geeking out about the OGN life, and I said that I got one for you in the next episode. I got one for you, and we're going back to our good friends at Fantagraphics. Vince, you may not have heard of them, but they make some good comics. And the book in question. What? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I said, do they though? I was being a dick.
Yeah.
God, dude, this is just. I don't know what's become of you, dude. Like,
I know. I've immersed my head completely in the Kool-Aid. But go tell us about this book.
I'm going to. It's called Hypericum by Manuele Fior. Fanta has brought many of Fior's bande dessinée over to the U.S. in the last few years. There was Celestia a few years ago. I can't think of the name. It was like, the red ultramarine, that ultramarine, something ultramarines a few years before that. But the point is, this is not my first foray into Fior, thanks to Fantagraphics. But the thing about this is it's from my perspective, a complete departure from the prior works that I've seen of his. And it's essentially a story. It's two stories interwoven. The protagonist of the book is a 20-year-old Italian woman named Teresa. She has just arrived in Berlin. It's the late 90s at this point. It's probably like 99, if I'm doing the math right, between 99 and like 2000. She arrives in Berlin on a student visa to work at the museum to help curate the launch of the Egyptian King Tut exhibit that they're putting on. So she arrives wide-eyed, never been in Berlin, not sure she has ever left Italy at this point, trying to find her way, and she meets a young man named Ruben. And Ruben is like the complete opposite of her. She's from meager beginnings, very smart, went to university, trying to just experience the world, but hasn't seen a lot of it, but very much an intellectual. He is very much a rule follower, whereas he is the complete flip side of that. He is this tall, good-looking, charming guy who basically has a job, quote unquote, where he basically takes celebrity. He works for a celebrity website or for a celebrity site, and he just does touch-ups. He does touch-ups on celebrities to make them look better looking or what have you. But he doesn't really take it seriously because, as we find out, he's a trust fund kid. So he's really just living his life, just living that kind of bohemian life because he doesn't really have a care in the world, but he's got all angst and stuff. And anyway, they become quick friends, and then more than that. And as this story is developing, you often cut away to the 1920s, where we follow an actual historical account of Howard Carter's expedition, which unearths King Tutankhamun's tomb. And that part is rendered completely differently. It's painted in a very throwback style, evoking older renderings or illustrations. Even the font of that part of the story is it's handwritten on lined paper as if you're just reading excerpts from someone's diary of the accounts of it. And you're seeing Howard Carter, basically, for those that don't know, the Tutankhamun's tomb, which is arguably the greatest treasure find of our history. Howard Carter was an archaeologist, somewhat like a real life Indiana Jones, if you will. And he was being funded, as was often the case, by a patron of some means. And the patron had kind of had enough, was like, listen, we're wrapping things up. You haven't found anything. You've got, a few days to wrap things up, but I'm closing down. And as luck would have it, and it's a true story, the very last day Howard Carter spent looking for this stuff, he comes across King Tut's tomb. And this is real. It's not fake. This is real history. And so we juxtapose between that real historical account of things, which is fascinating and I thought really well done, and they couldn't even make it up, right? It's like straight out of a movie. And then this story of these two young, 20-somethings falling in love. And Vince, there's lots of sex, because I know you're nodding off at the idea of this book, but there's lots and lots of very gratuitous sex between the two of them on top of it. But you might be asking, well, why is it called Hypericum? What's that got to do with anything you just talked about? Well, Hypericum is the Latin name for St. John's wort. And as many of you may know, St. John's wort is a centuries-old homeopathic. We can take it in a pill now, but it's been a homeopathic treatment for centuries that some claim is a miracle, natural miracle cure for many things. And Reuben, the young man, is trying to get her to take St. John's wort because she can't sleep. She is just beset with insomnia, and it drives her almost literally insane. And so finally he gets her to take the St. John's. Happens to be a drug that was being used by Howard Carter during his dig. So it's really well done and really well connected. I loved it.
It is such a good book. It's a beautiful book. I read it last year, I think, from Europe Comics, and it's been, and even, I mean, the homeboy, it was just ends up being an absolute prick as the story continues, but it's really, really well done. I enjoyed it a lot.
For sure. And then they have that 9/11 moment at the end, which is really quite startling in of its time. But
yeah, I read the review copy, and I said if I ever found it, I'd grab it for the shelf. But yeah, the sex was a nice touch. But yeah, the flashbacks, if you want to call them that, were because I mean I didn't know really what because I started it and I put it down and I went back to it and it I wasn't sure really where it was going, and but once we got into, well, not the, I want to say present day, but when we got to the more modern times, it was I was getting into a groove, and of course because it's a female in an industry that's usually dominated by men, she doesn't exactly gets treated all that well at the start, but it was I thought I just thought visually it's a really, really solid book.
Looks nice.
And that's that, Vince.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Hardcover, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The 5-issue miniseries, which I don't know if we're just going to get 5 issues now, by Kelly Thompson and I'm going to butcher this name, Matteo De Ilias. The Cull, 5th issue, has come out, so this miniseries has finished, or has it? ... We our heroes return home and try to maybe not necessarily right a wrong, but there's a literal big bad that they have to face, and I'm not going to go too deep on this because there's a bit of trauma, but there's also maybe a bit of a mindfuck as you near the end of this story, and I kind of really, if this is where Kelly and company leave it, that's ballsy, and it's very Twilight Zone-y, and I have no real problem with it. But if they do decide to revisit it and maybe put things back where they belong, I'll be there for that ride. But this was it's not Black Cloak, it's not Captain Marvel, but it is I think it looks great, but it was it was a hell of a tale, and yeah, I thought all the characters were strong, extremely well done. There's definitely the for a bunch of teenagers, they've been through it, and it's not. I kind of want them to come back to this because I want to know more. And again, if this is all we're getting, and you know the rest is up to your imagination, then that's cool. I have no problem with that. But the seeds planted here, no pun intended, and the it's not even the characters as much as what's on the other side of that cave. What's going on here? I would love for this to be revisited, because I know I when I think of science fiction, it's and this is a poor showing on my part. Kelly Thompson isn't really someone that just immediately comes to mind based on other stories of hers that I've read. Even though, yes, it's more fantasy than maybe science fiction, but Black Cloak, obviously, and her 50 plus issues of Captain Marvel. But this was not necessarily something I expected from Kelly Thompson, but I am story wise, I thought the Cull was absolutely fantastic, and I think the art helps this particular story. However divisive the art may be for some, but I thought the Cull ended really well. I don't really know how it could have ended other than really this way, if without kind of just resetting things or putting things. It's just when you step back after reading all 5 issues, the ending it really does for me. The ending makes sense, but I am curious to know from the Slack. I know Brian read it. I got to see what others thought of the Cull as a whole. But yeah, I thought it ended well. I didn't really know what to expect based on how the middle of the story went. The first issue is what it was, and then we get deeper into what the kids are going through or what they're trying to do. But this was not really the ending I expected, and I am not mad about that at all. But I would like to see them return to it. If they don't, fine, but I wouldn't mind seeing them return. So I'm saying I want to find out what people thought about the Cull. That's what I'm saying.
Let's ask this jabroni over here what he thought.
I love it when my booze love comics.
Now, see, okay, that's our. Well, you say booze. That's good. We've read a good amount of Kelly Thompson stuff.
Yes.
This is one of the very few books that did not click with me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my man. Okay.
And it's not. I mean, yes, the narrative is. There's no hooks there for me, nothing to draw me into the story. But the real setback for me is the art. It's just way too super slick for me. Yeah. It's not badly executed. There's definitely, obviously, when anyone looks at this art, you would say there's definitely a skill level here. This is accomplished. It's like an overproduced record to me. Everything is
I can get that,
too shiny. I don't mean shiny in a reflection type sense, but it sparkles. There's a sheen to it. It's just really.
Yeah.
I don't want to say overdone because that's not it either. It's just there's a level of sculpting to the line that it's too much in line with reality that pushes me away.
Mm-hmm. It's not given trencher.
Yeah, right. But I'm not saying, hey, you like this book, you're a bottom feeder. That's not what I'm saying. There are books for everyone. This one is just not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
I get it.
Great color palette.
Yeah.
On a lot of pages. They do have a really wonderful... the hues are really nice. But, yeah. I think it's... no, go ahead.
Hassan Latsmani Allahu, who's been lettering a ton of books lately. So that's...
Crank's
also a writer.
Looking over his shoulder.
He gave Junie Ba his start.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay to say you didn't like something.
Sure,
of course it is.
No, and be respectful to the creators because that's
the key thing. I
right?
mean, it's like
you don't just like.
Well, let's not get on our high horse. We've all trashed books before.
Sure, but it's not a very pleasant thing to do.
It isn't. I'm just saying, but let's not act like we don't like. We're
no,
all
I mean, I think I did
We've
it
been doing
like
this a long time.
A couple episodes ago, but
100%. I mean, I've talked shit about Kirkman after fucking Manifesto. We've talked shit about Sewell or I mean, we've Kudranski. I mean, we know where the line is, but no, we absolutely, if you're not keen on something, that's fine, but that's not.
Yeah, you don't go on the
that doesn't give you a jumping off point
on the X and threaten to burn their house down. Like it's not an affront. It's just something that didn't resonate with you. But I'm pretty confident that you two are much more stringent with writers than I am, because I haven't often said, like I haven't read much by this creator that I liked. Because I don't remember a lot. The things that I really don't like, I don't take them with me. Things I love, I remember. But the thing that resonates with me far more than the writing is the art, right?
Sure.
So for me, a bad writer, you have to be really bad for me to notice you as a bad writer. Like, you have to be McFarlane level bad. I'm just being honest. I love Todd, but a writer he is not. Correct. And if I notice, if you break that illusion, that if you make me aware that I'm reading, you're not that great a writer, right? Where I see punctuation errors and just clunky sentences and half-assed plot contrivances, like, okay, next, right? I'll move on. But for the most part, I'm not, like, there are a lot of writers that are classified as mid-tier writers that I'm just perfectly happy with. Like, they don't push me either way. If they're paired with artists that don't resonate with me, then I probably won't. My distaste of the art spills over into the writing side, right? And whereas I don't like that book. It's not. I didn't think it was good. Is it not good from a writing standpoint, or was it not good because the art didn't tickle my fancy? Like, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I need to pull back and say, what is it exactly about this book that didn't manage to touch me, right? Was it the art? Was it the writing? Was it a combination of the two? That's where I want to go to really fine tune it, because I don't want to say this book isn't good and discount the writing when the writing was perfectly acceptable, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we usually bring stuff to the table more often than not that we enjoyed. So there's none of that, right? We're not going to waste time talking about stuff that didn't really make us happy. But if one of us brings a book that the others read and didn't, then that's when we get into a scenario like this, where I don't want to discount Kelly's writing. She's very, very good. And this art is good. It's just not
your cup.
It's not what I like to consume.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't make the book bad.
No.
Only not bad, but it didn't manage to pierce my bubble. But I'm confident it did to David and others on the Slack that this book is hitting the mark with many people. So yay.
And we'll see how many, if we do get a return to it, or maybe Kelly was just like, listen, this is the only part we're doing, and that the ending was always meant to be that way. But it also doesn't take much to, even if a book might not be, I'm not going to say if it isn't well done, but if there isn't anything, if there isn't much, like on the surface, or just if you were reading it straightforward, there isn't anything there, but there's that one thing that does make you want, like, so for, in this case, it's whether it's alternate realities. It's that is mirror universes. That's you give me something like that, then you hooked me. And we know with Jason, it's things like getting the band together. With Vince, it's Cocoa Puffs in a comic book. So there's certain things that are going to, if as a group, if we all read the same book and one or two of us don't like it, the third one does, probably because there's a gimmick in there. There's something extra, whether it's doppelgangers, whether it's alternate universes, whether it's horror, then that can absolutely tip the scale into, well, I don't know what you guys are talking about. The book was great. And it's like, we all read the same book. We all know exactly what's in it. But that one panel, because somebody whipped out like some old model kit that Vince played with in the 70s. Now all of a sudden it adds,
in the 20s.
This is his 11 O'Clockers of the year. So it's, I absolutely, I'm a dickhole. I love it. Yes, we all know everything we talk about every episode. It's all subjective. So it's,
I'm just like, don't go online and trash talk something just because it didn't work for you.
Just because you have a keyboard. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It would be great if we could take away most people's keyboards.
Oh, fuck yes.
Well, how about we inform them instead and let them keep their keyboards?
Oh, maybe.
We could probably do that.
I know some people don't learn, but what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yes. What else do we have?
What else do we have?
Oh, look at that. We're almost near the end.
Mm.
It's crazy talk. Yeah, that Madame Web's getting trashed.
Oh,
it
man.
should. Rightfully so.
But like, I mean,
did you see it?
I didn't have to see it.
That's not like listen, you. My goodness.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But there are, and I'm telling you, if I see a trailer for a movie and I have a feeling that it is going to suck ass, because I'll give so many things the benefit of the doubt, and there's a lot of eye candy in this movie, but just watching the trailer, this was going to be a train wreck from jump. There is absolutely just watching the trailer and seeing how things are going. Whether it was the dialogue or the acting or whoever was playing, there was just nothing. And I don't know what it is, man. I don't know, because even the trailer for Craven, I was like, this is jank. I don't know what it is with Sony trying to do shit with the Spider-Man franchise that it's not working, dude. I don't know. Same thing with Morbius, which I haven't seen.
It was terrible. It
I
was so
don't
bad.
know. I don't know what they're doing. It's like, come on.
It was really bad.
But no, there's absolutely nothing about Madam Web that I was like, yeah, I'm there. I am so there. I can't wait to see that shit. No, I'm good.
I listened to a podcast called The Town, which is about Hollywood stuff, and they talked about this week, and they were like saying it's there's fun bad movies, right? Like the Razzie movie where you watch it and you hate watch it. They said this is just unironically bad. Like it's not over the top, campy enough where the bad is good. It's just bad. Like everything about it is just bad.
Yeah. I always tell my students, if you're going to go bad, go campy, go over the top, do it so much that you spin that dial all the way around.
Yep.
Right? From totally shit into like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Plan 9 from Outer Space is a bad movie, but it's a really good movie.
Well, there you go.
And at this point, it's a cult classic. So maybe in 60 years, Madam Web will be a cult classic.
Well, there's going to be a real. We'll see if the absence makes the heart grow fonder, because the only big budget superhero movie coming out this year is the new Deadpool movie. No DC movies at all.
Right.
And only the one Marvel movie. So.
Yeah, I think superhero fatigue is a real thing. So,
for sure it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I mean, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, has made very clear that he's put mandates in to prevent that. Like he's told them to make less, put out less,
and make them good,
make them feel special again.
Well, yeah, make them good for sure. Yeah. Sad that needs to be said.
Well, I mean, I think you need a little bit of perspective. That even the least successful Marvel movie is way better than what we got before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the least successful Marvel movie from a financial standpoint is still making hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. Right. So it's just, yeah, I mean, these are first world problems of the highest order, but I do think it is definitely a real thing. In fact, the episode this week was not just about Madam Web. It was about the fact that the year in the box office is starting out to be historically bad. And, obviously the strike plays a role with that, right? Because a lot of stuff got unfinished, and so it's gotten pushed off, and so it's just the slate is so empty, and that so the things like the Next Despicable Me and the the Kung Fu Panda 4, like things like that you might be like, really? They're going to be massive box office hits this year because there's just nothing coming out, and kids are going to be dying to see something in the theaters, and so that, those films which would have done well are probably going to be crazy because of that. Because there's just no Star Wars, there's no Disney, there's no Marvel, there's no DC, so there's going to be a big wide open, opportunity for other things to be big hits.
Oh, it's interesting.
But nothing will be like Oppenheimer and Barbie last year, though. I mean, that was such a impossible to. Of course, Hollywood's trying to figure out how to manufacture that now, but you can't manufacture that. That was just a moment of magic in terms of marketing. The Barbenheimer thing was so stupid, and everyone ran with it, and it became a thing.
Those last because they were just purely coincidental. Nothing was planned.
Absolutely, yeah.
It just happened. And when you try to force something like that, when you try to make fetch a thing, it's not going to happen.
Yep. So fetch.
Exactly. Yeah. If being cool was easy, everybody would do it.
Everybody would be Vince.
Yeah.
It's natural, exudes that natural cool charisma.
That is the coolness.
This is true. Hey, everybody. We thank you for being here with us one more time. We hope you'll join us next time. Check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com. They have everything you want at the price you want to pay. OGNs, trade paperbacks, graphic novels, manga, of which I consume a lot. And you know where to get it. Please go to our Patreon page, patreon.com. I'm distracted by a really tenacious cat. Patreon.com/11 o'clock comics. $5 gets you a book of the month, extra episode of 2 hours plus length. We don't cheap out. $10 gets you the extra episode plus access to the Slack. Community, number one, first and foremost. Page a day, cover a day, downloads of vintage fanzines, polls, community. What more do you want? It's just a wonderful place to be. Free of judgment. It's like, what's that, Jim, where they say this is a judgment-free zone or whatever? We're that Jim, if I could remember the name. Yeah, Slack. In your travels, I just want to say thank Kirby for John Layman. You're going to say, why? Well, John Layman can write. And he has taken over writing of The Scorched from Todd McFarlane.
Aha.
Yes, the book was always visually enjoyable. Now it's actually readable. For those of you who know, Jason knows, but for those of you who don't know, The Scorched is the Spawn Universe team book. More often than not, focusing on Jessica Priest, a.k.a. She-Spawn. Members of The Scorched are Medieval Spawn, Redeemer, She-Spawn, and occasionally good old Al. But we have a new member of The Scorched. And we're going to see how far David's memory reaches. David, when I say Daniel and Kurt Kilgore, who do you think of?
All I think about is the Kilgore name with the parenthesis with the percentage sign in it. But
you've read this book, and you if memory serves, you didn't like it. It came out of Image, obviously.
Right.
I will give you one more hint. Greg Capullo.
Oh, right. So no. Well, if it wasn't oh, son of a bitch. You go ahead.
Haunt.
Oh
yes.
Yeah.
Haunt is now a member of The Scorched. Reluctantly, reluctantly so. The whole deal is, it mainly focuses on Jessica Priest, what she'll do in order to accomplish what she feels is the right thing. I won't spoil it, but it's all bearing down to Spawn 350. And Spawn is going to try and reclaim or claim the throne of hell, and he needs backup. So he comes to the Scorched, and he's like, you guys got to help. And wouldn't you know it, Haunt is now in their ranks. So it's the team plus Haunt joining Al on his bid for the throne of hell, which comes out next week in Spawn 350. I did not say who the creative team other than John Layman on this book. John Layman wrote it. Steven Segovia does the art. I really like Segovia's work. He is extremely versatile, and he's great with the ladies. If the focus of your book is She-Spawn, and you're good with the ladies, that's money in the bank. Because you've seen her costume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot to the imagination.
It's true.
Yes. Colors by Robert Nugent and lettering by Andworld Design. So it's still $2.99, people. If what Todd told me on our last phone conversation is true, you aren't going to be able to swing a cat in a comic shop without hitting a Spawn-related book soon. He has 10 titles planned, in addition to the ones that
that's a man with too much damn money.
Well, if you're a fan, I guess it's a good thing. But you can always bank on the fact that the books will be very nice to look at. Beautiful looking books. Whether or not Todd writes, that's another thing. So, but he seems to be spreading it around, bringing in people that can actually do the job. So I have high hopes for the Spawn universe. Scorched is fun. It's always fun. And this was issue 26. So if you're not caught up, get caught up, because Spawn 350 next week.
Damn.
Record breaker. Yeah, there you go.
In your travels, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to go too deep into it. Just that it's way more fun than I expected it to be. We get some flashbacks. and that's always a lot of fun because who doesn't love seeing the good old days when everybody was one big happy family? Sabretooth War Part 3, Wolverine number 43. Victor Lavelle and Benjamin Percy as your writers, Jeff Shaw on art, Alex Sinclair as color, Corey Pettit on letters, and like I said, we get some flashbacks. We get a bit of a reveal from things that may not have appeared or as final as appeared at the start of this arc. It's an absolutely a great looking issue. It is a massively violent issue. There's one full page image in particular that don't read it if you've eaten lunch is all I really want to say. This has been crazy. What I really, really do like about this, thanks to Vince for giving the nudge, it really, really just does remind me of the Lara Hama, Mark Silvestri, Dan Green days of the Wolverine series with Albert and LCD and Sabretooth going after Wolverine for his birthday. That's what this arc so far is reminding me of. I know it takes place in the post-Hickman X-Men universe, and this is what it is, but as far as the whole Wolverine and Sabretooth and their relationship and the events that we've seen so far, that's what it reminds me of, and that just adds another extra entertaining layer of fun on it, as much fun as one can have with so much red on these pages. But yeah, in your travels, Wolverine.
My boo's marking out for the Patch Man every week. It feels like it's great. In your travels, y'all need to check out this little book that doesn't get enough love. We don't talk about it enough. It needs to get more PR so people can get up on it. It's called Transformers. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Transformers number 5 was dope as fuck. There is a page toward the end of the issue that I would love to own when Felix does the drop. Unfortunately, the last Transformers drop, I believe the Starscream full page pinup was $15,000, and it sold in like 2 seconds. So this pinup, I would imagine, is going to be around or equal that value. So I'm not going to get it, but man, oh man, would I love to have that page. Vince is staying quiet because he hates Transformers.
No, I wasn't caught up, and I thank you for being vague. I'm like 2 issues behind.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I've read 5 yet. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
No disrespect to DWJ. I'm just like, we're trying to bring new things to the show.
Issue number 6 is his last drawn issue.
I knew that, yeah.
Yeah, Jorge Fornes takes over. Jorge Corona takes over after that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him draw a lot of robotics and tech, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was nice that, Scotty could lend him out for a little bit.
Well, it's not like it's his indentured servant.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I got another book coming out, so.
You want a cracker? You finish that page.
Wow.
Not in the cellar.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here with us one more time. Hope you come back next time. You know the drill. Say goodnight. Tampon. No, not tampon.
Vince, while we're waiting for Dap to get it wrong here, what did you have any thoughts on the FF casting?
I like it.
Me too.
Yeah. David, obviously the first one I'm going to scrutinize is Sue.
Yes.
I think visually, I don't know if she can act.
She can.
Oh,
okay,
she can, yeah.
good.
You've seen her in Mission Impossible. And
Yep.
Haven't seen a single Mission Impossible movie.
Okay, well.
The
Crown. I'm sure you watched The Crown.
Yeah, okay. Visually, I think she's stunning, but not in an excessive way, which
Right,
I think. If I had my druthers,
She's like a Kate Blanchett type.
yes, I would have. I think the perfect Susie is Oh, damn. The woman that played Rita on Dexter.
I don't know.
His wife that died.
Couldn't tell you.
I think you've never watched Dexter? You're chiding me, and you've never seen Dexter.
No, I've seen it. I just don't remember it. I didn't see the whole. I didn't finish it, but I saw a chunk of it.
His dearly departed wife, I think she would have been perfect as Sue. But I mean, yeah, I think she looks the part. And we got Mandalorian in there. What's not to
Pedro
love?
Pascal.
Yeah.
Good night.
They just better do the Mole Man. No, you don't want to start off with Doctor Doom. You want to have Doom as a supporting character or Victor as a supporting character. Set it up so the audience knows him, and then in the second movie you do Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I believe Doctor Doom is theoretically the new big bad now that Jonathan Majors is canceled.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, it's going to have to be a long movie then.
No, he's going to be like the big bad of this next arc. He's going to be
of the whole Marvel universe.
Right, but what I'm saying, if they're planting the seeds of Doom in Fantastic Four, you're not going to have Doom play out in a movie that's not featuring the Fantastic Four. That's just wrong.
No, of course not.
That's wrong.
I'm sure they'll be in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll all culminate with the FF and probably the X-Men. But
by then.
Yeah, the Avengers movie I think is like 2028. I think so. It's like we got 3 years.
That's cool. I'll wait. I mean, I just please do it right. Mm-hmm. Please.
I mean, listen. I'd like to think the law of averages after the failed attempts we've had with the Fantastic Four. That now that, and I don't even want to say now that it's home. I feel like we've seen bad Fantastic Four movies.
It's really saying something when the Roger Corman Fantastic Four is the best we've seen.
And it's not for lack of good casting. Like
seriously,
really good actors in these movies. But it's just didn't come together.
Tell them you love them so much.
So much.
I got to remember to be Michael Chiklis next episode.
That's it for that one.